Hey guys, welcome back to Input Plus. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this case, the Gamdias Athena M2 mid-tower case. It fits an ATX, micro ATX, and mini ITX. But it's got a nice small form, small size so it won't take up that much space on your desk. So let's take a quick look at the features. It's quite obvious. You can see it comes with three RGB fans, and it came with one rear fan. So there's four fans altogether, but the three on the front are the RGB ones, and the one in the back is just a plain standard fan. So what we'll do is we'll open the case so you can see the inside, and I can explain some of the features further. So I found that with the tempered glass side panel, you have to put a lot of care because it's secured by two screws, which we will undo now. But you have to be careful because on the back side, and I'll show it in a separate B-roll, there is a tab or a little screw that you need to push towards you, which would allow you to get your fingers into the glass and slowly pull it out. There's that danger of the glass falling or slipping from your hands, and that won't be very good. Okay. So while we're at it, let's take the rear left side panel so we can get a better view of the case. Whoop. There we go. That's one example. You have to be careful. Okay, that was close. Okay, so as you can see, there's the rear fan, and then you have the three RGB fans. It's got a shrouded PSU case, shrouded PSU, which can house, I think, up to about 6.5 inches or 170 millimeters length of PSU. The VGA, the video card, you can put as much as long as 13 inches or 330 millimeters, and the CPU cooler height limitation is 170 millimeters. So that's all I can show you from this side. Now, going to the back, we have a 2.5-inch SSD or 2.5-inch mechanical drive caddy, which has, you undo one screw, thumb screw, and slide out, install your drive, and then slide it back into place, then secure with the thumb screw, and off you go. It's got a hard drive cage for a 3.5-inch hard drive inside, and then another 3.5-inch hard drive on top, or 3.5-inch hard drive inside, 2.5-inch SSD or mechanical drive on the top. So that would give you three drive storage plus your M.2s if your board has one. Okay, and next we have, I can show you the controller. So the controller, you've got three connectors for the fans and three additional fans, but they are proprietary. They're 8 pins, so I believe only Gamdias fans would work for the expansion if you wanted it to be controlled through this controller, which is connected up top on the I/O, which I will show you. So the controller is powered by a SATA connection. So that's all you need. You don't need to run the fans, to power the fans, you don't need to use any of your fan headers on your motherboard. So that saves you an allocation for fan headers. And then you have control of the LED through this 2-pin, which is connected to the top I/O. Now, before I go further on this case, I've pre-tested the RGB lights on the LEDs on the fans, and they're not working. The fans are turning. You can control the fan speed as well. 3 levels, low, medium, and high. And even at the highest setting, when I tested it, it was very acceptable. I could barely hear anything. So that's the plus on the fans. However, I need to contact Gamdias or Newegg because I paid for this with my own money and the LEDs are not working. So Gamdias, I hope you're listening. So moving on to the inputs, we have, okay, I can turn it over like this and I can show you on a separate roll, but we have one USB 3.0, 2 USB 2.0s, a headphone jack, a microphone jack. The LED control, one to it which is not labeled is the fan speed button. Lights for hard drive activity and the power LED, and of course your power button. So moving on to, let's undo this twist tie. In the bag are some zip ties. They have provided extra fan screws, the long screws, and some standoffs and motherboard screws. So that's pretty much it. A speaker connection. So you can add it onto your speaker port on your motherboard. And then for wires, the RGB connector for your motherboard. So it's a 5-volt RGB connector which you plug into your motherboard so you can have motherboard control of the lights. Okay, then you have your USB 3.0 connector, one USB 2.0, and the other one is the high definition audio for obviously the mic and the speakers. And that's pretty much it. I'm still disappointed that the lights are not going to work, but I still have to build in this machine because my son needs his PC. So I'll tell you my thoughts on the build and be right back. Okay guys, build is finished. Got everything in there. As far as build experience, it wasn't that bad. Lots of room despite the smaller size of the case. The cable management leaves a lot to be desired. It was a little tight in there. It could use a little more space, but then again they were saving on size, so they wanted to make it, a bit more compact. I put a 240 mil water cooler up top. Few things that I forgot to show you. Top mesh filter. It's got a magnetic mesh filter up top. Fan sizes I forgot. Up top you can put 2 140 mil fans or 2 120 mil fans or a 240 radiator. I think a 280 might work because I didn't have any problems as far as thickness or it's pretty much offset. If you can fit the 140s, then you probably can get away with 280. I mean, I don't have one to try. Up front, obviously 3 fans, but there's a lot of room to put in a 360 radiator in there. And then a 280 radiator or a 240, and obviously a 120. And in the back, you can put a 120 mil radiator and 120 mil fan or a 140 millimeter fan. What else? Oh, the front. Nice feature of the front is this mesh grill. You don't have to take, if you wanted to clean the mesh grill, you don't have to take the whole front panel off. You just, up top where, the top mesh, you just depress it and then off it comes. And that exposes the fans, and then you can, wipe this down, clean it as you want. Then to put it back, simple. Lay it flat at the base, push it back until you hear it click, and that should be in place. And that's pretty much it. So what I'll do is I'll do the peel. Nice. That's it, guys. By the way, I didn't put in the build B-roll because you've seen a lot of builds. I was a little frustrated with the lighting situation, so hopefully that gets resolved. In the meantime, quite lucky that my son doesn't really care about RGB. We care more about the airflow, so hopefully down the road that problem gets resolved. And the issue did get resolved. The day after the build, I sent an email to Gamdias requesting or asking what they think I should do, and I said I didn't want to send the case back and disassemble the build and all that. So he asked me to send him a photo of the controller so that they can send a replacement one, because we both assumed that it was the controller that was faulty. So a couple of weeks later, they sent me the replacement controller. So I've got a test. We're gonna run the lights and the RGB and the fans. So I've got it all set up here. We're gonna use the reset button of this case to cycle through the lights. So let me hook them up and be right back. Okay, so here we are, all set up. Fans are fairly strong, I can feel it. There's a fan speed switch on the case, which is a nice feature. However, I don't have that extra button on the case where I'm going to use the fans for. So the default speed is at its highest, so that's good enough for me, as long as the default speed is at its highest and if not the lowest. So that works out. So now we'll cycle through the lights really quick and end the video. So let's see what we can find. We got fans, he's got a case, so we can repurpose the fans for some other use, so that works out for me. So that's the end of the video, guys. All's well that ends well. So if you like the video, please click on like and do subscribe to the channel. It helps get it going, and you'll get notifications for future Input Plus videos. Until then, see ya.